What's up, everyone? Kevin Leslie, and welcome back to another episode of the At the Thousand Training Podcast. And today we're going to talk about. I had an event last night. I was asked to moderate a panel with 5 college coaches who represent 5 different regions within men's rowing. And it was an amazing opportunity. It was with the IRCA, the Intercollegiate Rowing Association, Coaches Association, that started a few years ago. I used to be a part of it when I was a coach at St. Joe's. And they asked me to come on and learn and talk to these coaches and be able to ask them questions that are specifically centered around college recruiting, particularly men's rowing. But a lot of what we talked about was very transferable, whether you're pursuing men's rowing at the college level or women's rowing. So it was an amazing opportunity. Again, we had 5 coaches who represented 5 different segments within men's rowing. And our goal was to compact as much information into a 60-minute time block as we could, so that the coaches who were listening, because there's over 150 coaches registered for the event, and I think at one point we had at least well over 100 coaches logged on live listening in on our conversation. And again, our goal was to provide as much broad-based information, right? Broad picture information on the college recruiting process, from recruiting timelines to what college coaches are actually looking for in their recruits. And then the last segment that we focused on was big picture. Why should we support more kids pursuing college rowing? How can high school coaches help deliver that message to their student athletes? And how does this circle back around to help support your program as well? We were trying to compact as much information into that 60-minute time block as we could. And I think we did a great job with it. And out of respect to these coaches, I'm going to leave their names and schools out of it, because they were representatives of the entire men's college rowing landscape. And it was an amazing thing. And I was honored to have the opportunity to ask them the questions that in many ways I wanted to hear answers for myself. But I want to talk about a couple of the big takeaways that I think really were frequently echoed throughout the conversation. And again, we had college coaches who are part of teams that are competing for A-level finals at the IRA. We had Ivy League college coaches on there. We had representatives from Division III, the Southeast, the West Coast. Like, it was an amazing opportunity to learn from really awesome coaches, especially for myself and for all the people listening in. So one of the big takeaways was there's levels to this. If you are pursuing college rowing as an aspiring college rower, right? You're a high school athlete, sophomore, junior, maybe even a senior, and you want to pursue college rowing, it's very important to understand what you're getting into. It's very important to do your research and understand, okay, there's an expectation involved in being a part of certain teams. If you want to row for the top of the top teams, there's an expectation involved in what they're hoping you can contribute. And I think one of the messages that I frequently said to myself was, these coaches, and myself included, we're looking for 4-year team contributors, not one and done recruits. 4-year team contributors, not one and done recruits. What do I mean by that? We want athletes who have done their research, understand what they're getting themselves into, and are able to withstand the workload that's going to be asked of them, so that they can contribute to winning medals, going to a national championship, if not winning a national championship. That's a very important piece. And contributors also, right, it may not only be performance, right? Obviously, performance is a massive piece because every coach on that panel wants to win. But it also means, okay, are you a valuable team member? Are you someone that can come in and be a really quality boathouse athlete, right? Meaning you show up on time, you're a great teammate, you're the first person to put your hand up when, tasks need to be done at the boathouse. So those are other qualities, but performance matters, and there's levels to this. There's levels within men's varsity rowing. So that's a very, very important piece. And I think that's something that high school coaches can really help their athletes with as they navigate this process. Help them understand that, okay, if these are some of the schools that you're interested in pursuing, do your research, have the conversations, and get a very good understanding of what you're going to be getting in for. And if that feels like that's something that you are not able or willing to do, it might not be the right fit for you. And I'm going to circle back to fit here at the end, right? Finding the right fit for college rowing. So again, there's levels to this, and understanding that, hey, there is a college rowing program for everyone, but not every college rowing program is for everyone. You have to do your research so that you can understand, okay, what are some of the options out there that I could really see myself pursue? And if I go there, I can have a really quality experience, or I can have an incredibly competitive experience because I'm trying to go there and win a national championship, right? A lot of coaches talk about that. They want people who have that winning attitude, who have those intangibles where they want to compete and they want to put themselves in a position to win a national championship, right? That's another thing that coaches are looking for, right? Whether that it's a national championship or getting on the medal stock, whatever it may be, right? But that's why that's a major piece of why they're in the business. The second piece that we talked about, or another piece, right? Another big takeaway that I personally could have talked about all day, but the ERG matters. The ERG matters in the college rowing recruiting process, and especially the 2K, right? That's the one that we're going to highlight. It's a reality. Every coach on that panel and all the coaches that you're talking to are probably the first question on the questionnaire is, what's your 2K score? And I say that to be as direct as possible, even though I feel personally that, hey, like there are other options that go into the recruiting process and this, and 2K as an SAT score. I know that's a thing that a lot of people say. Like, I think that's, not necessarily the best way to, word the weight of the 2K, because I think there are other factors that can go into it, especially when you're dealing with programs that are undersized or just that. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's a huge piece to what college coaches are looking for. It is that intro into the door. But with that, in terms of the weight of the ERG and how important the ERG is to the college rowing recruiting process, there's other metrics that athletes, ERG-related metrics, there are other metrics that athletes can pursue, right? If your team isn't heavily focused on 2K scores, do you have a transferable ERG score that you can submit, right? If 5x5 minutes is a very popular workout in your boathouse, okay, well, can you send those scores to coaches and they can understand that you're tracking in the right direction, or you're competing with the highest of the highs that ever walked through your high school program, right? Can you have transferable ERG-related data to provide to these coaches if the 2K isn't the top of your high school coach's training program? Because that's a very real thing, right? Some athletes are at that small program where that's not the center, that's not the focus. And even though the ERG is an incredibly valuable piece to it, they might have to go alternative routes in terms of getting a score that best represents, are they fit enough to pursue this endeavor? Lastly, the next thing, right? Or actually, circling back, even talking about what college coaches are looking for. Intangible qualities, right? I talked about them before, right? But intangibles, your personality, your professionalism. Can you articulate an email? Are you putting, right? That first message, that first email matters to them. They want to know that you can put together an email and this doesn't, you're putting your best foot forward, and this wasn't something that was, just written in the car ride home from practice and doesn't have any punctuation. Like, take the time to do real research, because that speaks volume, or take the time to do real proper communication, because that speaks volumes to how you carry yourself outside of just the water on the ERG. So that's another important piece, right? Leadership, professionalism, how you articulate your communication and emails, and again, circling back to your attitude, right? Are you a winner? Are you someone who wants to come in and compete? Another really massive piece. And then the last one that I'll really talk about today is finding the right fit. And that comes back to the first piece. There's a college, or anyone can row in college, but not every program fits every rower. Not every program out there is the perfect fit for you as an individual. You have to do your research. So you have to find the right fit. And that could mean starting with the school first and figuring out what are the options out there that fit your criteria in terms of schools. But then when we dive into the recruiting piece, understanding the expectations that these coaches are going to be requiring of their athletes. Some athletes, right, if you look at it on a scale, there's some ultra competitive teams out there where that balance of athletics, academics, and personal life, it's very, very heavily weighted in the athletics department, right? Obviously, academics is always going to be a massive piece because you can't get in, or if you don't have the right academics, you're not going to be able to perform on the athletic front. but where that time commitment allotted towards athletics is going to be way heavier than maybe for some programs where they offer a little bit more balance. You as an athlete or as a college coach who is speaking with your athletes have to take that into consideration. It's not just about, I want to send my athletes to the best school out there because that makes me look great and this and that. No, because again, it doesn't look great for anyone if you're sending your athletes to a school where they only last one semester and they can't handle, that winter training because they've never had the exposure to the erg, and they erg a lot. Every coach said that they erg a lot in college. I can attest to that. And if athletes go in and they don't understand that, then again, are they going to be in a position to have success? So again, I truly do believe that there is a college rowing program out there for everyone. And whether that's in varsity men's rowing or club rowing, whatever it may be, there is an option out there for everyone who wants to use rowing as a physical outlet, as a community piece in their college experience. But I think it's very important that you do your research and you understand what those options are so that you can navigate that path and best position yourself to have a 4-year amazing college experience based around why you got into it in the first place. So again, I thought it was an amazing call. Over 100 coaches tuned in. Those coaches, again, are welcome to reach out to me anytime if they have specific questions. I'm hoping that we do it again here soon. I think that's going to be the case. The IRCA is a great organization. I think they're doing amazing things to support men's rowing. So I was honored to be a part of it. And if anyone has questions, reach out. And I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day. Peace.